Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Today, I'm a bit under the weather, but hopefully I'm feeling better by the time this posts. I'm casting this on December the 3rd, gonna post it about a week from now. But it's gonna be Rogue versus Dark from DreamHack Masters Winter. Bottom right is Dark, top left it is Rogue. So a ZVZ, haven't cast one of these in a while. Felt like it was time to see one from two elite Zerg players. ZVZ is a very, very weird matchup. It can end with one Baneling hit. It can end with one Roach run by. It can win because you didn't scout for Mutalisks. And you can win because you made Hydra, Viper, Lurker. And your opponent went with Ultralisks. Anywho, yeah, a little sniffly. Sorry, I'm going to try to avoid sniffing into the microphone directly. I'm feeling fine. I mean, I'm really just kind of congested, a little sniffly at the same time, which is like, how does that work, body? How can I not breathe out of my nose, but also snot is dripping out of there? How does that work? What is going on here today? I don't know. I have no answers for you. I'm not a doctor. I play one on TV. So both players doing the exact same build. What's interesting about ZVZ is there are multiple builds that are viable, pool first type stuff. Sometimes going for maybe a bit of a later hatch. Obviously, pool timings can be different too. But in this situation where both players go for the 16, 18, 17, which again, viable in ZVZ, then it usually turns into kind of who's going to go for Lings and Banes, who's going to try to kill the other player before they get Roaches out, or are they both going to go for Roaches? It's a very interesting dance that ZVZ is, whereas the other matchups I kind of feel like are somewhat more straightforward. PvP actually is very similar to ZVZ in a way. It's just so many different units are viable in the matchup and so many different ways you can go. Knowing exactly what your opponent is doing in the first 5 minutes or 10 minutes is very difficult. Extremely, extremely difficult. So these players, they're going to do a ton of scouting. That is the good thing about ZVZ, is that you can scout with your overlords, and as long as you stay away from creep, then queens can't kill you. So you can have a ton of vision out on the map here on Berlingrad. So if lings try to come across the map and kill your stuff, you'll at least see them coming. Maybe you won't be ready for them, but like, you can see them, which is better than you can say for, you know, other matchups where there's Phoenix killing your overlords or random Marines are running around out there killing your overlords. You can't just put them wherever you want. But in this situation, you absolutely can. Lings poking in. And no such thing from Rogue. Rogue is not interested in sending any Lings out. He has an Overlord at both of the exits from this location. Does he know about this base? He doesn't know about this. Okay, so Dark takes a pretty fast third, all things considered. Very interesting. Lair timing from Rogue coming up here too. So interesting. So Rogue goes for the lair timing. Dark goes for the fast third base. So lair timing, yeah, indicates you're going to go for Roaches or Mutalisks pretty quickly. And the fact that we don't have a lair here, and we have Speedlings, and a Baneling Nest, and an Evolution Chamber indicates that Rogue or Dark's going to go for a lot of Lings here fast. And that could be difficult to do, because look, Rogue, he knows how to handle Lings. He's going to go ahead and wall off with buildings and queens, get a creep tumor out fast. I don't know. I don't know if you want to try this. I think once your opponent's walled up like this, going for a bunch of Lings and Banelings, it just doesn't work a lot of the time. So I think Dark, yeah, he's droning up. He's going to try to get ahead economically right here. And the trick about Lings versus Roaches is if you get a surround on the Roaches and you have +1 attack, you can kill them pretty fast. And yeah, well, I'm just not going to worry about that today. Going to go for his own Roach Warren, getting the armor upgrade, which benefits the Lings and the Roaches and the Queens and the Hydras and the Lurkers and the Ultras. It's a very good upgrade to get, but I mean, this is fantastic positioning from Dark. What he needs to worry about now is that Rogue is going to go for a big, 10-12 Roach swell, run across here, kill the third base before Dark's able to get his Roaches out because his Roach Warren isn't done yet. So let's keep an eye on that. Aspire's getting started as well here from Rogue. Where is it? Up here. All right. So maybe going to go for surprise Mutas. Muta's very good in this matchup too. Again, that's what makes it interesting, is mid-game has a lot of viable options that can just kill you if you're not ready for it. And I mean, I guess that's true for all matchups, but ZVZ units are so fast, right? You can pop, like, you can scout the production of Colossus, right? One pops out, then another one pops out, and there's this window where you can see them coming, and they're being built. But in ZVZ, you can pop 15 mutas at once, and then they're across the map on top of your stuff in, you know, 15 seconds flat. That's it. That was your window, was them popping out of their eggs and then flying across the map, and you die. Same thing with a bunch of Zerglings. In the early game, somebody makes, you know, 20 Zerglings, runs them across the map. Even if you see them coming, the window to react was too short, and you die. So in this situation, roaches aren't super fast, and these are roaches that have been here for a while, so Dark knows that they're coming, which is why he's got his own Ravagers, Lings, and some Banelings in here too. Not that Banelings are very good versus roaches, and in fact they're not. But Rogue getting his third base way behind Dark's, but they're similar at supply count right now. It's just that the income is going to be favoring Rogue somehow, despite the fact that he doesn't have the third base. I guess Dark's not mining much from this third whatevs. So we're officially in the Roach Ravager stage of the matchup. That said, 5 Mutalisks are coming out now. And the third base gets sniped before anything can respond. Oh, that sucks. That really sucks. So the Mutas are going to try to get revenge by killing some of these Ravagers, which they can do. Ravagers are pretty squishy, but, like, that is terrible for Rogue. You can't lose your third base and come back from that very easily anyway. Mutas are just, they're trying to, see, this is what I'm talking about. You know there's Mutalisks out, but you didn't have a lot of time to respond to it. Dark thought about pushing out with his units, but pulled back when he saw how many roaches were out for Rogue. Like, oh. So, I mean, if anybody's going to go for a lot of Mutalisks in a game, it's going to be Rogue. His control is just super good, and Rogue doesn't get a third base again. Link shut that one down, too. So, I don't know. Drones are getting picked off at the same time. It is 4 drones that have been killed. Worker count is 70, or 48 to 53 in favor of Rogue right now, but his third base is not happening. And these Lings aren't going to be able to get through there either. So, I mean, this is Spore and a Queen really enough to dissuade this many Mutalisks. They don't want to go in there. And, yeah, I mean, Dark doesn't want to challenge this choke point either. Muta transfuses are good, though. And now Transfuses keeping those Ravagers alive, but that's less energy that the Queens have in the near future to do other stuff like transfuse themselves or other units and do creep tumors and stuff. But yeah, 132 to 129 supply, pretty even, but just not having a third base is a massive problem right now. And there you go. Income is creeping back down into Dark's favor here at about 8 minutes in this match. +2 missile attack is coming in. That is ahead of Dark's missile attack upgrades for sure. But Dark does have the Carapace upgrade, killing his own Baneling nest. And Rogue getting a 4th base to make up for the fact that his 3rd base is still not done and extraordinarily late. So Rogue's doing a pretty good job balancing, I think, between Mutalisks and Roach Ravager. He's not just making Mutas. He's got 11 of those, but 32 Roaches as well. So the Mutas are enough of a threat. They can just burn down an Overlord real fast. They can kill a Queen that's alone very quickly, too. They don't really want to go into multiple Queen or multiple Spore territory whatsoever. But here's the thing. I think Dark is sitting at home is not what you need to do with this army, man. Go kill this base. Can you kill this base at this point? Just every time he moves out, he gets Ravagers picked off by Mutas is the big concern right now. So he's kind of stuck here. Rogue is making a big swell in total supply, 185 to 161. Mutas are going to burn down an Evolution Chamber, or at least try to do so before the Queens show up to shove them away. And you're kind of on a timer there, right? If you're in a professional game and you're harassing something of your opponent, they're going to respond to it in just a couple seconds. So you know what to do. Who's going to go? Okay, Hydrolesk Den from Dark is like, ooh, you need some anti-air to deal with these Mutas. And seriously, Hydro Lurker Viper is the end-all composition for ZVZ right now. So the longer the game goes on, the more you're going to want it to get into that composition, because it is so hard for Zerg to engage with if all they have are Roaches and Ravagers. Or even Mutas. You can fungal down the Mutas and kill them with the Hydras. It's just, that composition has everything you need to deal with what Zerg can do. Gets an extractor through some pretty nifty micro. Doesn't lose any mutalisks, although that one's going to die. I don't know what that guy was trying to do. But yeah, Rogue on 4 bases now. Check that action out. Is it 56 total workers? He's getting in his infestation pit up. Lurker Den is just about done from Dark. And yeah, I think we're going to move into that particular compositional choice. The mutas, I mean, keeping them alive as long as he can, getting value out of them would be nice. Dark's now getting his 4th base at 10 minutes, but again, Rogue's is done, has been for some time. Dark doesn't feel like he can move out until he has some Hydralisks. I guess he's not making any Hydras, though, so... Wait. Didn't he make a Lurker? Oh, it's over here. Yeah, so Infestation Pit, Lurker Den. Upgrading to the Hive for the upgrades to the Lurkers, and same story here from Rogue, going for that Hive for the same beautiful upgrades for your Lurkers. Muta's picking off Changelings. Maybe he dropped a Changeling. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Changeling corpses, who they belong to in situations like this. But Darkslings do have +1 Carapace and speed. So they're going to try to swing up here. Oh, I don't know. Muse could whittle that down a whole bunch, I think. So the Queen's going to respond to this, and they are. But there was some time to take some HP off this thing. I'm not sure what a better use. All they did was not attack it for a minute. He's like, oh, the Queens are there. What if I move into the main base? What does that sound like? And it sounds like a bunch of stuff. A bunch of spores, especially. All right, man. Face mashing here with Roach Ravager. Also, Ling's getting all upon Rogue's 4th base. Dark is being aggressive, but guess he's throwing up a Nidus inside Dark's base. Rogue's got a Nidus coming up here. The Lings they do get the 4th hatchery. That's a pretty big win, but there's nothing to defend what's coming out of this right now. And what's coming out of this right now are Roaches and Ravagers. So, Lurkers for Dark are here to defend against this. There's no detection. Oh, there is detection available. Because there's an Overseer here for Rogue. He sets it up an Oversight. The Queens are here to fight, but it's individually taking off Queens right now. The army came all the way back home to deal with this. Another bunch of Roaches from Rogue coming from the right side. The Mutas are going after Dark's 4th base at the same time. Multi-pronged activity happening right now all over the place on this map. It is about similar numbers on the supply here, and Dark has managed to rebuff the attack of Rogue. The Nidus units are maybe going to get this hatchery, and they are. Man, wow, nice snipe there. Knocking Dark all the way back to 2 bases because his 4th base is dead too. Dude, this is crazy. Rogue got knocked back to 3, but it's worse for Dark, who just got knocked back down to 4. Rogue's throwing up another Nidus, but these Queens should be able to handle that. No problemo. Lurker Spines being lurkery. Small handful of Roaches and Hydras from Dark, not doing super well for themselves, but Hydra's additional DPS is always nice. And coming back home again here is Dark. He's just dealing with these Mutas and these Roaches while trying to retake his 3rd. Oh, man. I mean, Rogue, okay, retaking his 4th would be good here, too. Rogue looking pretty good. He's up 195 to 181 supply. The Nidus stuff has been excellent for him. He's working on Seismic Spines upgrade for the Lurkers, which we don't have yet. Actually, oh, he was going at Adaptive Talons and he canceled it. I think to go for, hang on. No, it just finished. Okay, so we got Adaptive Talons first, Dark, dude. That's interesting. What are the upgrades looking like? 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, so it's even upgrades. I don't know why. Ah, Lurker, see? See, the Lurkers changed this whole game. Roaches and Ravagers start to lose their abilities, lose their usefulness as Lurkers start popping out here. So Rogue, as usual, replacing a dead base is going to take 2 bases instead. So he's got a 4th and a 5th coming up. That Nidus Swarm not happening, but it blocks Dark's attempt at getting a new 4th. Yeah, I think the way this game has gone, it really feels like Rogue has this in hand. The income is looking better for him all the time right now, as Mutaflock is still flying around causing all sorts of problems for... I guess that's his Changeling. Why does he have a Changeling on his side of the map? Sometimes that happens. I don't... just for vision purposes, that's all it is. Yeah, and then you see your opponent trying to expand because you have the vision available because you control the skies and you force a cancel on that base. Yeah, it's another win for Rogue here. He's looking so good. Surprised he hasn't burrowed these Roaches for the additional HP regeneration, but if they're burrowed, they can't kill stuff, so fair. Fair enough. Lurker versus Lurker battle. Oh yeah, everyone's favorite thing in StarCraft. The Spines attacking each other. Another Nidus attempt here, but look who's learned his lesson. Dark shuts that one down. He's got Vipers consuming off the main hive. Lurker versus Lurker battles are going fairly well right now for Rogue. Forcing those spores to move back a little bit, but not too far, because if they're too far, they're not providing detection that we need. Another Nidus. Man, Rogue is really... he can afford this is the thing, right? Look, he's got gas in his bank. He's got minerals in his bank. That's going to pop up, but I'm not sure if you want to... if you want to go in there. He's trying to... I think he was trying to draw forces away. Yeah, he does. He draws forces away a little bit while he attacked it on this right side, but then there was enough from Dark to shut that down anyway, so I don't know. So Lurker's going for the siege. Rogue is just playing. He's just playing now, man. He is just throwing up Niduses left and right. It's like, I have a lot of income, and I'm going to actually maybe try to go Roach Ravager into your Lurker Ball, but oh, that's another canceled base. All right, man. Dark, he's not dead. He's got 184 supply, but, like, you can't keep losing bases like that. You can't keep getting knocked back to 2 fewer bases than your opponent in a ZVZ in any mirror matchup, especially. But in any matchup, Blinding Cloud going down all over everything here. That's a good thing Vipers can do for your enemy Lurkers, is getting them out of there. It doesn't last forever, but it does help you win Lurker versus Lurker battles if your enemy can't shoot. Turns out, big Roach counter attack from Dark left side, though. Does take down Rogue's 5th. All right, that's a major win. He's like, my Roaches are not going to be very good in base defense at this point in time, so tell you what. Oh, the Roach Warren, too. The Roach Warren for Dark goes down. Going after the Nidus Network is a good win. It's actually a great win there, so that slows down the Nidus harassment stuff, but, I mean, income tab, it looks like this. It is trending toward Rogue really heavily, and I think Rogue has this thing. Again, it's not over until the fat lady sings, and he's getting more damage. Oh, great Burrow. Sick Burrow. Dark's like, it's a good idea. I should get Burrow. And then he started getting Burrow, and then he canceled it. Whatever the heck that was all about. I don't know. These Lurkers are like, there's Vipers around now, so that's not good. But bam. I mean, Dark, look. He's mining out of his natural base. He's got, surprisingly, some stuff in his main still, but it is very, very low. Dark's going to try to retake his 4th at the 6 o'clock, and Rogue expanding top right for his 5th this time. Both players taking a bit of advantage for the lull and the action, and are going to, don't ya know, go for the expansions. Spinecrawler gets 2 kills. Good for you, Spinecrawler. Doesn't happen to Spines a whole lot. You're going to get that killing blow. 195 to 174 supply. Income is just heavily favoring right now. He's got the Hydra, Lurker, Viper combo that he needs. Blinding Cloud is up, and I don't know, man. Who's winning this thing? Great Abducts, but then getting out of there, too, because the Lurkers can run if they're abducted out of the ground. Sure, I was going to say Dark is holding this, but then more reinforcements coming from Dark, but the Blinding Cloud is fantastic. Really, really good here. And man, Dark absolutely held that. He's now up 20 supply after that engagement. It is, again, Hydra Lurker Viper is such a weird composition to handle and to defend against and to defend with. I do not have a handle on it. It is one of the more complicated setups. It requires a lot of spell casting from the Vipers, which... not my forte. Obviously, if anyone has ever watched me play StarCraft 2 at twitch.tv/Falcon Paladin, which I do every Friday night. In the US times, anyway. Also, be sure to check out falconpaladin.store. It is just a store where you can get merch, hats, hoodies, pillows, that sort of stuff. And then the Falcon Paladin Hour is a weekly podcast featuring myself and Somicron, an Australian. We talk about TV shows and movies and StarCraft 2 tournaments and stuff. So if you're interested in listening to me to talk about other things that I talk about in my cast sometimes, you know, more in-depth discussion, that's not a bad place to go, is Le Podcast. Roaches. Oh, no. Just set it and forget it there. Oh, that's brutal. Set it and forget it. Runs into those lurkers, gets absolutely obliterated. And yeah, we're settling in. This is what we're doing here. These roaches are like, we don't want to die. Ow. We're doing our best to run away here. I don't know, for how bad that first 20 minutes went for Dark, I feel like he's okay. That is kind of the magic of ZVZ. You can get a couple good engagements and you're fine. So suddenly he's on 1, 2, 3, he's on 5 bases. He's at 189 supply. He's got as much of a bank as Rogue does right now. Army value is actually higher for Dark at the moment because Rogue's got 90 workers and Dark has 66. So Rogue oversaturating these bases. He's like, I'll throw down some spines with these extra drones, I guess. That's cool. Also expanding bottom left for a 7th base, which Dark really can't compete with right now. For him to take another base would require coming all the way up here or down here, which is probably your best bet. Sending changelings down just to see what's going on. He's like, ah, yeah, still parked out front, I see. So this is where ZVZ kind of slows down. Like, ZVZ for a long time is pretty fast. You got speed roaches running around. You got speedlings running around too. But then when the lurkers aren't very quick. So when I was talking about how fast things can change, that's mutalisks, that's lings, that's roaches. That hiders to a certain extent here, but see, lurkers off creep are not that fast. Their speed rating, not incredible. Both players sending changelings everywhere. Because changelings are free. Oh, actually snuck some in here, did Rogue. I thought these would die. Dark doesn't see it, and they get to set up shop here a little bit. See, I mean, they can't detect the lurkers, but I assume they know they're there. But yeah, this is where ZVZ turns into... It's like tank lines for TVT, except a lot more mobile. You can unburrow a lurker and reposition it a lot faster than you can unsiege a tank and resiege it. So you get these little engagements, yep, just over and over and over again, where you're abducting and blinding clouding. And trying to get your lurkers outside of the blinding cloud, and it's just the whole thing. Trying to make sure you have detection for your enemy lurkers, and that's what the overseers are for, that's what the spores are for. And Dark making some good moves here. I like this. He is taking this base, which is the more risky one to go for, I thought. But he does have easy access to harass one of Rogue's bases, which Rogue has to pay attention to, so that's maybe a good thing. 68 to 60 workers. Rogue has reduced his drone count a bunch for this very purpose. I love this one roach, man. Where are you going, friend? It's a dead end, son. There's a queen at the end of that line. Changelings. More changelings coming in from Rogue. These ones get spotted. Adrenal glands all the way from Rogue. Oh, we've seen this. We have seen situations where it turns into kind of like a stalemate thing where both players have the right composition. They're both pushing and defending and defending and pushing each other. And then somebody just makes like 50 speedlings and they go to a base that's not protected by lurkers. And they can wipe it out pretty easily. But that said, I mean, Dark's got lurkers protecting pretty much every one of his bases. Ling run bys are just not going to be a thing here. And then Rogue, on the other hand, is not leaving lurkers at home. He's got spines and spores at home, which is interesting. What is our lurker count? It's 34 to 11. Wow. So Dark has largely lurkers right now. I mean, I don't want to say go for a Mutalisk tech switch here because there's enough spores. There's parasitic bomb on these vipers. There's queens all over the place. I don't know if that would be totally in your best interest to do that. Oh, that's out of detection range. That's sick. All right, so look, again, a couple extra hits. That is the magic of professional games. Is the professional games 2 seconds where you get to kill 2 more drones can be the difference between winning and losing a match. That's exactly what we're up to here. So, bro. Yeah, see? 5 drone kills over on this side of the map. Très bien. I mean, the good news is my knee's feeling a lot better, for those I was complaining to about before. Today, I really haven't had any pain with it at all, so that's a good improvement. This is weird, man. I don't know. I woke up with knee pain a couple weeks ago. I didn't injure it in any way that I remember. I just woke up in the morning and it was in a lot of pain. So that's what's very strange about the whole thing. And then about, 10 days later, now it's fine. So I don't... Dark magic is what it is. Is Dark... Speaking of dark magic, is Dark just... He's just taken the other half of the map. That's all he's done. He's just clearly taken the other half of the map. Here. And it's all good. It's all good. The abduct battles are real. Vipers abducting each other. Vipers abducting lurkers. All the Vipers die. I mean, we're looking at a lot of dead Vipers thus far. 9 and 8 have died for each side. And here's this Ling stuff. Rogue got Adrenal Gland for a reason, and it's this, where he runs into a meat grinder of lurkers and hydras. And some of them maybe get some stuff done. For sure, we'll get the hive. With our +1 attack and Adrenal Gland upgrades. Is it enough? It is not enough. That Hydra damage output is too strong. Hey, do you like? I heard you like abducts. We put some abducts in your abducts. How many more Vipers have died? We're at 13 and 6 now. Oh, Rogue has lost 13? Wow. All right. Dark making a move. Bottom left. Can he? If he could take this base down, I think that would go very well for him. Gonna try to win this game. Those Lings, oh, that's a lot more Lings that got in this time, but there's Hydras defending. The Lurker Den getting sniped is a pretty good win. Infestor Pit going down too would be good. Ah, does not save the hatch. Get some nice abducts off, though. A lot of Lurkers die, and your Lurker Den just got killed. So the Hive gets saved, but the Lurker Den dies. Rogue just pushing with a mass Hydra style. He does not care about your Lurkers. Not when there are this few here, and he knows there's a window where you can't make any more Lurkers. So Rogue being aggressive right now, he's like, okay, Lurker count can't go up from here, which is definitely nice. We're going to get that hive. Let's get that hive. We'll kill some of these here, some of these Hydralisks. They got +2 attack now, so +2 is where Adrenal Gland Lings start to get really good. +2 and +3 is where they're very scary. So that Hydralisk Den is going to go down, but there was another one I saw under construction for Dark here. What are we looking at from Dark and his Hydralisk Den count? He's got one, and there it is. Okay, fair enough. Lurker stuff from Dark on the other side. This is definitely turning into something right now. I'm a bit of at a loss to say what it is. Kind of a cluster for both sides at the moment. They both got attacks happening on the other side of the map. Hydra on Hydra battles inside Blinding Cloud Swarms, kind of. The Vipers are just taking tons of Spore hits at the same time. Oh my gosh, Dark's Lurker doing some work, but... Oh no, it doesn't have detection! Oh no, No! That is such a bad way to die to Lurkers if you don't have detection at all. Like, it's hard enough to kill them when you can see them. Okay, so detection shows up. Those Lurkers get cleaned out there. We've got just a minor little Viper Hydra battle. Both players just kind of going into mass Hydra at the moment. The Lurker count is 2 to 7. Where Rogue is making a few more here. So is Dark. Got his Lurker Den back. He's got that backup Hydralisk Den too, which is really important to have. Nice Blinding Cloud. Nice, beautiful Blinding Cloud there. These not getting as much damage as they'd want to be able to, and bam! Dark taps out. No, Dark wins. Rogue taps out. Sorry, I'm backwards on that. Holy smokes. So Dark is the winner despite, again, being set back so heavily on economy time and time again. And is it just this? Is he just like, I don't have... What is it? Army value is pretty heavily favoring Dark. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough indeed. Army value is 57 to 127. Dark's on this side of the map with what? 39 Hydralisks, 17 to defend. Lurker count is minimal. There's no Banelings available for Rogue to help with this either. He just... Man alive. He lost that bottom left-hand base, right? He's getting attacked up here too. He lost a bunch of drones. Not like Dark's killing it economically either. This is not even a base for him viably. Just a bloodbath, man, on both sides. That was great. Income basically... basically even at the end. Excuse me. Goodness gracious. All right, I got to get off. But, I mean, that is maybe, I don't know if it's an epic ZVZ, but that was really, really good. End of the day, 30 Lurkers died for Rogue, a total of 43 for Dark, 57,000 resources lost for Rogue, almost 60,000. And Dark only at 41. Both players losing about the same number of drones, both players losing about the same number of bases. And Rogue's attempts to kind of cripple Dark's tech just didn't work out for him. He did for a minute, but it wasn't enough. Maybe not worth what he spent on it either. This is just ZVZ at its best, man. ZVZ at its best between these two guys. So, GG. Well done, indeed, to Dark getting the win. And that's going to be it for me. So this is Ben, Falcon Paladin, coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft 2 Legacy of the Void. Go ahead. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching. You take care of yourself.